I'm serious.
Well, that's a piece of cake.
No. This is a serious question. I mean, this is a serious question.
Because I don't use the term
if you want to bar human beings,
are they human beings? Are they human beings?
No.
That's just ridiculous. You talk about straw men. You just did that.
That's a question that I'm directing to you. I'm not making a statement. Here's the difference. Here's what I'm asking you.
People should come to the country
legally.
How
far should we go?
People should come to the country legally.
How far should we go for those who are here already, though? Should we kill them? You said you're fine with not giving them cars. You're fine with barring them from driving. You're fine with barring them from access to health care. How far should we go? Should we put them in little camps?
We should
maybe ship them away?
We should not reward them for coming here illegally.
Hasan Piker is once again getting destroyed, this time by Larry Elder on this show on live television, where they went on together. And Hasan definitely got very triggered and lost his mind because Larry Elder speaks in facts. And that's how most conservatives, especially, conservative commentators out there, they do end up speaking in facts, whereas the left, they try to censor facts and kick you off social media and try to dance around stuff, use emotion to win arguments because the facts aren't on their side. In this situation here, the facts were definitely not on Hasan Piker's side and were definitely on Larry Elder's side. Let's get into this clip here where Hasan gets absolutely destroyed by Larry Elder on live TV.
It's because part of the reason for the homelessness crisis is because of the lack of affordability. Leo Haney is an economist from UCLA. He estimates that because of zoning ordinances, NIMBYism, all the rules and regulations that they put on people that want to build housing, housing costs almost 50% higher than an audit cost. So that is a failure of liberal policies. But the other problem, of course, is that a lot of people who are homeless have mental problems. They have substance abuse problems, and throwing money at it is not going to help it. The government needs to get out of the way and allow churches and nonprofits to deal with this problem because government can't do it.
Okay. I agree. I think this is a problem of liberal capitalism, 100%. And I also agree with everything that Larry just said. I think the solution is to decommoditize housing as best as possible through a series of different programs. Rent control was something that was put forward, and unfortunately, private interests were so powerful that BlackRock...
You know what's absolutely hilarious about this? I don't know what the hell Larry Elder just said, where Hasan could say, yeah, I fully agree, this is liberal capitalism is the problem. Hasan, he's absolutely lost his mind. The funniest part about his statement just now, where he said we need to decommoditize housing as much as possible, and that's the solution to homelessness. This man owns a mansion in Malibu, by the way, that he bought from selling shirts that say tax the rich. Do you understand? I know you understand watching this, but you gotta understand how stupid the people are that support Hasan and think that he is on their side. Like, they genuinely think that Hasan Piker is someone who is like fighting for them, fighting for some ideology. Dude, Hasan Piker is fighting for what goes into his pocket. And that's very, very obvious. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just he's so disingenuous about it, talking about how he hates capitalism so much, even though he benefits from capitalism so damn much. Talking about how we need to decommoditize housing when the man literally owns a mansion. It's so hilarious, man.
BlackRock, for example, spent, I believe, upwards of $14 million or $75 million in just lobbying and marketing efforts to make sure that rent control did not happen in the state of California. They're not in California. They just own a bunch of houses. There are 100,000 empty homes in the San Francisco metro area alone. And there are, 59,000 homeless people? It doesn't seem like... I know what the solution to this problem is. I think we all know what the solution to the problem is. And yet... we can't grasp our mind. We can't just say it.
What's the solution?
Giving homeless people houses. It sounds ridiculous, but there are empty houses and people dying in the streets. What's more important? Making sure that the property values are as high as possible, or making sure that our fellow Americans, young children who are going to college right now, trying to better themselves and trying to build a better future for America, living in their cars, living on the streets. What's more important?
Rent control and policies like that create a disincentive on the part of contractors to build housing. So if you really understood...
Oh, no, that's precisely what I mean.
If you really understood the problem, you'd be opposing rent control, not advocating.
I don't think rent control is a perfect solution. I think rent control is a Band-Aid, but it's a solution in the right direction.
No, it's not.
Because what did I say? I said decommoditizing housing is the main goal. Building public housing, building affordable housing in the short term with rent control, making it as unaffordable as possible on the landlords to own private.
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
Properties, so that housing which I would regard as an inelastic, I would regard as having inelastic demand, which is a necessity for people to survive, shelter, right? Very important. Should be dealt with appropriately. But I also feel the same way about healthcare as well.
So you want government to displace private contractors?
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. I think private contractors demonstrably are failing right now. We are seeing this. We're talking about homelessness. Why do you think this problem exists in California? It's affordability. People can't buy houses. And you're right about the mental health issue as well. Again, another thing where our government is failing us.
Larry, your defense for private contractors.
Well, if Hasan believes the problem with homelessness is because we don't have more rent control, I don't know what planet he's living on. New York has had rent control for a very long period of time. It destroyed their housing stock that they had before the Second World War.
It's not just rent control, Larry. Don't focus on that.
And the idea that I, as a contractor, should be barred from charging fair market value for my rent will create a disincentive for me to build more housing. And single-room occupancy also has been pretty much regulated out here in California. We ought to rethink that. So we ought to unleash the private sector, not constrain the private sector, as Hasan wants to do.
Here's what happens when you unleash the private sector. Sorry to cut you off. Airbnb, which is absolutely destroying the housing market as well. Because, hey, they're incentivized. That's what happens when you try to fix something with the profit motive. You have a bunch of homeless people, and then Larry sits here and says, why don't we just let the nonprofits take care of it? Well, the nonprofits are not going to take care of it. If we wanted to wait for people to be nice to one another, I don't think we would have gotten into this problem in the first place.
Let's talk about another issue. California passed a budget this week, over $200 billion.
Real quick, though, the hypocrisy coming from Hasan is insane. Like, it's unbelievable, honestly, that he can just stand up there, sit up there with a straight face and say these things when the man literally owns a mansion. You know, he's saying that we need to disincentivize private contractors as much as possible from being able to own these places and rent these places out to turn a profit. Number one, why are you buying mansions when you could just go help all the homeless people in the world with all the millions of dollars that you're grifting from your audience? Number two, if that were the case, if we really did disincentivize all the private contractors and the people who were investing in real estate to turn a profit, to rent these places out and turn a profit, and we relied on the government, we would have no nice houses out there. Like, they would just build a bunch of bland-looking apartment complexes, stuff us into the smallest buildings possible, and they would just go about their day. We wouldn't have these really nice houses being built. We wouldn't have nice apartment complexes with pools and bars and things like that. That wouldn't be happening. It would just be a bunch of square buildings, and they would pack as many people into the smallest amount of rooms that they possibly could. Like, it would be a horrible country to live in. The thing is about it, like, I know that you guys don't need me to explain that to you. I know that they don't. I know that you don't. The reason why I'm even saying that is because Hasan knows that too. Hasan's not that stupid. He's actually very smart. And he plays his idiot audience like an absolute fiddle. He doesn't believe these things. He knows all the things that he's saying are flawed, and he knows that Larry Elder is correct. But he's saying them because it gets him money, because it gets him a mansion. That's why he's saying it. It's so obvious. I don't know how his fan base can't see it, but they really can't. They love the guy.
Perhaps the most controversial aspect of it was this health care for undocumented people under 26. They'll have access to Medicaid.
You mean illegal aliens?
Or depending on your perspective on what word you choose to use.
Wait, let me ask you. So, you said illegal aliens. Do you not think that they're human? They're human beings, right?
Is there a term called undocumented in the U.S. Title Code?
It doesn't matter. Are they human beings or not? I'm asking you a direct question.
It doesn't matter.
We're having. You want to have a conversation about legality and whatnot?
Why ask me some stupid question like that? No, they're gerbils. Of course, they're human beings.
Oh, okay. So then that's fine. Then we should give them health care. There we go.
The question is, what should we call them? And the answer is the precise name in the title code for people in the country illegally is illegal alien. Not undocumented. It's not in there.
Why are you trying to back into the legal conversation when we're trying to have a conversation around morality? Obviously, I understand how the law works. The law is also susceptible to changing. Now, let's have a conversation about the morality of whether or not we should be giving these people health care.
Well, let's ask the question, though, in terms of, because money is not, infinite. So
sure.
Sort of the choice for California taxpayers, when we have so many other problems, including homelessness for so many California residents, is this a good use of California taxpayer money to give it to pay for this?
Yes,
no,
absolutely.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely. I think we should solve the homelessness problem as well, as I demonstrated in a few different ways, and how we can make it a little bit better and mitigate that problem. But we should also absolutely help the people that are here already, that are working in all facets of industry, that are contributing to taxes. I mean, these are just human beings. You can call them undocumented, or you can call them illegal, you can call them whatever you want, but these are human beings that are existing.
A bigger welcome mat for people to come here illegally. In California, already illegal aliens can drive cars legally. In California, an illegal alien can get in-state tuition, which somebody in Wisconsin born here can't get. It's outrageous.
Do you hear yourself though? Like, you want to bar human beings from driving around?
Well,
just because they were born on another side of an imaginary border.
Here's the governor's perspective on this, because I asked him that same question, and he says, look, they're here anyways. They're going to the emergency room anyways. It's going to be more expensive to treat them in the emergency room, so we're better off giving them health care so then they can get preventative care. What do you say to that?
The answer is you are creating incentives on the part of people to come here illegally, to come to California and take advantage.
Why not kill them?
And take advantage.
Why not kill them? Why not enslave them and put them in camps then?
Yeah. It doesn't need to be that extreme, idiot. You can just stop them from coming here illegally, punish them with the law because they're doing something illegal. It doesn't have to be that serious. Like, what do you mean, why not? Because it's morally wrong. The punishment doesn't meet the crime. I don't think you get the death penalty for entering a country illegally. It's pretty dumb, in my opinion. Maybe somebody out there agrees that you should get the death penalty for that. I don't think so. I think that's a bit harsh. But of course, like, it's just such a bad faith argument, such a bad faith question. Why don't you just kill them or enslave them? Well, because that's a ridiculous, like, overreach. That's way overkill. What you should do is stop incentivizing these people from coming into the country. Not only should you actually enforce the law of stopping these people from coming into the country illegally, but also when they get here, they shouldn't get the benefits that the legal citizens get unless, they are absolutely necessary. Like I said, you shouldn't be allowed to just kill them. They should also benefit from the laws of, like, we can't just go out there and kill people because they're illegal. That can't be the case. But they shouldn't get all the benefits that legal citizens have, because that incentivizes even more people to come in illegally. I can't believe that this even has to be explained. It should be common sense. Once again, Hasan knows these things. He has common sense. He's just acting like he's dumb to get some more money from his audience.
No, I'm serious.
This guy's a piece of cake.
No, this is a serious question. I mean, this is a serious question.
Because I don't use the term
if you want to bar human beings,
are they human beings? Are they human beings?
No.
That's just ridiculous. You talk about straw man. You just did that.
That's a question that I'm directing to you. I'm not making a statement. Here's the difference. Here's what I'm asking you.
People should come to the country
legally. How far should we go?
People should come to the country legally.
How far should we go for those who are here already, though? Should we kill them? You said you're fine with not giving them cars. You're fine with barring them from driving. You're fine with barring them from access to health care. How far should we go? Should we put them in little camps?
We should
maybe ship them away?
Not reward them for coming here illegally.
Okay.
I agree with President Donald Trump.
So how far do you think we should go?
May I answer the question? We should get rid of the bad hombres. Those who have done real serious crimes, they should be gotten rid of. And there are hundreds of thousands of people already that have deportation orders, and we haven't rounded them up and gotten them out. They ought to be gotten out.
Do you think everyone with a deportation order is a bad hombre, or do you think people are just getting deported at a higher rate now because Donald Trump wants to make it seem like he's doing something?
He's prioritized it, and if you walk down the street and you're an illegal alien and you cross the street illegally, you're not being deported. He's talking about bad hombres, and I like the way he's doing it.
All right, we're gonna have to leave it there. Before we go to break, though, we got to give a shout.
Let me know in the comments, but I think Larry Elder absolutely demolished this idiot Hasan. And once again, Hasan is just a bad faith actor, and there's no way he can be good faith because, like I said, he sells shirts that says tax the rich. He's saying that the whole problem with all of this stuff, with everything, is just capitalism, and we should have socialism or communism, whatever he says. Regardless, he's a grifter that is playing dumb to make more money off of his audience, so it's really easy to destroy people like that. But Larry Elder still did an absolutely great job arguing with this idiot. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about this whole Larry Elder versus Hasan Piker on live TV situation?